Good. Hello, good evening. Just to say, who am I? My name is Angelo de Klerk. I've born 20 August 1990, 34 years old. I live in Belgium and I started skydiving in 2011. At the moment I have 2,600 jumps, and I do have like a small big way school with lots of nice people where we travel around together with Patrick Bass. On the side you see also all my sponsors and supported, so it's always good to be supported. I'm also supported by many people. That's why I'm doing all of this actually, because I have a full-time job, as most people know. I just do it because I love to have all the people around me, around us. So this video, well, PowerPoint I've made, it is more to show what can go wrong, because, how do I need to say it, when I was a newer skydiver, you get so many different input. And this instructor said that instructor they say this guy says that, but still I never understood any word of it, because I'm more somebody who needs to see it. And I'm sure more people have the same kind of stuff, that they need to see what they mean. So yeah, this is for all the skydivers. I don't even know how my webcam is working, but so it's an online seminar version. I changed it totally from the safety day. So people that were at the safety day, that was more interactive. I should have made some, you know, if you go to a theme park, some noises. Maybe Maddie can laugh when it's... I'm talking to a screen, fuck this. Oh, I can't swear either. Good. So first of all, I want to thank all the people that shared their video and or their story. Because the more we share, the more we can learn. The more they share, the more we know, the more we see. It's a bit, I don't know why or where it comes from, but before, it's very rarely you see people sharing stuff that goes wrong. Why shouldn't we? You know, it's not always goes to plan. There's a lot of stuff we should learn from or talk about, so there will be some videos. I don't have so many, but let's go through them. So first of all the videos I'm showing had permission to be used from the videographer. We are here to learn, to watch the video. We're not here to judge the people. We should be grateful they're sharing this video. It means that they're open to progress, to learn, and to show it to the people how to do better. The goal is also to show you some risks. It's not to go super deep into subjects because of the time, people get bored. Get a drink or so, but if you want to hear more or deeper stuff, we can go way deeper in it. The best for newer people, if you are in your AFF or a slow learner, make sure you make notations from all the things or questions to talk about it later with an instructor or an experienced skydiver. Just be careful who you ask to. If you're a new skydiver, it could be a lot for you. All these videos, you might think, oh, we have a dangerous sport. Yes, we have a dangerous sport, but like Dan BC always says, it can be done safe. Alright, so also, why I said instructor or knowledge skydiver, never trust one person, not even me. Maybe I say something wrong in this PowerPoint, maybe I had wrong information. Most of the information I've double checked with many instructors or organizers during the year, because there's a lot of different things out there. If you have questions, well, I can't see the chat. I was gonna open the chat. I could try to answer them at the end, or you can ask me in private at some time if you don't want to have it in the chat. If I do not know the answer, I will tell you. I'm not a person that's gonna try to come up with something. I don't do bullshit. Just straightforward. If I know it, I know it. If not, I don't. There's lots of people around, like organizers that has been years and years in the sport, and ask the question and then just give you the answer. So, first of all, the biggest danger in our sport is that we think that we are experienced. We always think that we are experienced until it goes wrong. And also, a biggest danger is we know it all. Everybody knows at the drop zone, there's always people that know everything and don't want to be told anything. But sometimes it's those people that make mistakes. Just give me a second, I'm gonna check the chat online if I can open it.
I need to get my laptop.
Just a second. No, it's fine. Good. So we're gonna skip the answer questions. That's more if it's interaction. It was to know if you had plus 500 jumps or less 500 jumps. I wanted to know if you had an accident or incident in skydive, and if you had a reserve, but maybe later I can add a poll after it's finished. So first of all, a very important rule. If you see something that looks wrong, don't hesitate to say it. It doesn't matter if it's an instructor or any guru or myself or another organizer. If you see something that you think that is wrong, just go polite to the person, speak him like, is this normal? Or isn't that a bit too difficult? You know, just say how you feel and maybe you can save something or somebody. So, the first thing, how many risks or what risks are involved in one jump? Well, I don't know the answer actually, but I made a summary. Just a So the risks, the gear is a very important one. Sometimes it's not okay, so that's a big risk factor. Skills and the knowledge of the people you jump with, or the skills and knowledge from yourself. Bad fitting. Everybody has seen people that are bad fitted or wrongly geared up. Plane. What do I mean with the plane? Boarding, hop and pop. We go deeper on these subjects as well. The weather is a big risk factor. Dropping of the plane early. We all had that happen before, but there are risks that comes along. Hitting the door on exit. Too fast diving and not be able to stop. A dislocated shoulder. Keep that one in mind. It's a very important one that you might not have considered. Going low. Tracking direction and the pull altitude. The first steps after opening. Canopy collisions. Landing pattern on the landing area. And of course, like we always say to an AFF students, the jump is only over if you're safely back in the hangar. So try to respect all these points I just mentioned above, and it's safe. Of course, there's a lot of more to add, but let's start with some videos. So first of all, I start with the gear that is not okay. Try at home, once we're finished with the presentation, just check your gear. So, what do we see here? Do I have a mouse? Yeah. The loop is too long from this rig. Do you know? Well, I can't ask you the question either. I need to give you the answer, but with this, jumping with this is extremely dangerous. Okay, so I did not pull any force on this rig. It's not mine, of course, but it's dangerous. So if you jump with any rig, make sure you check the rig. I'm gonna show you now the video, all right? Maybe I'm gonna talk and I only need to show here on the top and the blue suit. Don't look at the red one here. He's not doing a good job at this moment, but the blue suit, do you see at the container the flaps are open. On top of it is Willy Boykes filming. So the full container flaps are open, you see the bridle, you see the pilot chute. I know you have 30 seconds delay. I could quickly rewatch because it's quite an interesting one. You never see that a lot. So this person in blue, full bridle, loose and open container. Alright, so the risks of this person. First of all, when the canopy, the container is open, if they would have, it's lucky it didn't go open, but if somebody would have hit the bag or he had a little collision, the POD could start it to move up, means the pilot chute is still in the BOC, could have been a lot of issues. The second risk is a big danger for the camera person, because Willy Boykins, he always films on top, very close, so he could have the camera in his face, or it could be danger for all the team members that are near him. Another risk is an ugly malfunction with the canopy. I don't know how it would look, I never had it and I hope I never will, but be aware. The solution for this is having a good gear check. Make sure every time that you jump, that you check your container. For a quick story, I was in Klatovy for an event. I was doing back-to-back. I had just to put a new loop before I arrived. I come in the hangar, I let them pack. She asked me, can you give me a loop? I said, why do you need a new loop? I just changed it at home. Yeah, it's some problem. Okay, I gave the rig. She packed it fully. I just had a 10-minute call or so, a 5-minute call. I walked to the tent in Klatovy, picked up the rig, and I always feel the tension. And it was loose, so I asked the person, what the fuck was this? And the answer was, well, it was too tight. I said, no, it's not too tight. Yeah, but it took too long to pack. I said, I don't give a shit. So I did not jump this rig. Just make sure that you tell your packer to not do it super loose. Otherwise I had the same issue as the person. So the solution also to avoid this is a tight loop. Try to minimize the movements in the plane. Sometimes you see a lot of people moving around, checking outside the window seat, but while they're sitting against the bench, the pin can come loose. Alright. Another thing about is to have a premature after exit, so maybe the plane could also be damaged and the people inside the plane. Alright, just a drink. Now we're gonna watch a video. It's happened a couple months ago. We're just gonna watch it. So have a look at the altimeter, 2500 wave off. So by the time you pull, 2000. 1, 2, 3. You're at 1000 feet now. What's gonna happen? 1000 feet, depending on your AAD. There's no sound, so you can't hear anything, eh? Have you seen this being now?
I'm just setting up so I can see questions.
They're gonna re-show it. re-show it? Oh, you're online as well.
Yeah, just someone asked me to read the questions.
Okay.
I'll pass them on to you if needed.
Just re-watching it again. Alright, I'm gonna stop here, because the rest we can talk about. Good. So, this is kind of a jump that can happen to many of us. Because when I point out all the points I'm gonna talk about, you're gonna recognize quite a lot of these points. So, first of all, the person was tired. Okay, there was a lack of sleep because of the plane ride, arriving late at the hotel. So there was not enough sleep. So that's already point one. We all had it, you know. We went for a drink. We had 8 hours of non-alcohol like it should be, but still in the morning you're tired. There was no breakfast or food by the early start. I've done this as well, so both points I had in the past. It was a freezing cold morning, not the right clothes, and waiting in the cold for an hour. Of course, the fourth one, the parachute didn't pack themselves, the packer did pack the parachute. Not the promised altitude from the balloon. So now it starts to adding up, point by point by point. So if you work in like industry, you get an LMAR, it means last minute risk analyze. You can add it in skydiving as well. At this point, you should start rethinking. So if you do not get the promised altitude, you should change the plan according to the altitude. There was a bit of fear involved. It doesn't help with the mental part. There was the plan they still did with a lower altitude, a two-way from a balloon at 4,000 feet without any speed. So it's a static object. By the time, of course, you track away from each other, wave off safely at 2.5. Pull attempt was at 2,000 feet, on the low side, of course. Sadly, the person just had more bad luck. It was a hard pull, while the person ends up on the back. The person tried to find the reserve handle, couldn't locate it. Somehow, that I didn't got yet, I rewatched the video a lot. The pilot chute did go out somehow, so lucky in a way. The canopy deployed around 1,000 feet, so that's around AAD fire. There was an AAD fire. 2 canopies out. So if we go back, point 1 I've had, together with point 2, together with point 3, and then of course with other things. So like I said, many people could have the same thing happening. It's just like one after one after one. Just to say something, you see the dual deployment. This is something that people need to take more serious. You never hear anything about it. So what's been in the video I'm not gonna talk about. Good, wrong, there's different solutions. So don't look at this situation, I'm gonna give you homework. So, but best of all, the person survived, and it will be a bar story in a couple years, like many other stories we have. So just keep in mind that you reassess every day you jump and change the plan. So to give you homework, I've watched this a lot of time already, but it was coincident. I was at the PIA in DeLand last week, and the person, Jim Cohen himself, was giving the day I was at the PIA a seminar. So I rewatched it now in live, and it's so good. Every skydiver should really watch both things. So if you see YouTube, that's where we are now. You type in CRE Tube. There's two videos. The Jim Cohen's Duel Out and the Jim Cohen's Collision and Entanglements. Both are a must see. After one time watching, it will not help. You will have to rewatch it, make notes, but try to do this. Especially because in the situation on the video, it could have created a more bigger problem. Alright, so just take this away, write it down. I'm gonna skip in a second, take a picture of it. Especially, just a thing for newer people, if you are in AFF, listen to your instructor. Just make that clear. If you are in an AFF, you're a student, and you do only what your instructor tells. Afterwards, you are ish on your own. There's more of emergency situation, there are different things, then you have to go deeper and deeper in it. Oh, it's my webcam actually. Am I on the video?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Just
Good.
your head down.
Oh, good. Another video to show. I think some people are on my other channel. Oh well. Good. So, what did we see here? It was a four-way, a linked exit. Like, I have done many when I was, 20, 30 jumps. We did exactly the same. Exactly what this video was from a few months ago. We did exactly the same. We had fun, we smiled. But now, 2,600 jumps later, I finally see all the dangers in that kind of jump. So the risks of this jump is dislocated shoulder or hurting somebody else, because if you see they grabbing each other, fully stretched, a lot of tension, you can get dislocated shoulder or hurt each other. Another thing, you see people hitting each other, you could lose your GoPro. You could have an unwanted opening from the main or the reserve, because stuff can get stuck somewhere. The cutaway handle could come loose or could come out. You can get unconscious followed by two canopies out. So the solution is to jump or start jumping in smaller groups until you have fully control after exit. Another solution is, well, that's you always should do, you let go. Always a formation when it funnels, and then you rebuild it. Holding a formation that funnels, it creates tension, it will start quicker and quicker. You just let go, find good air and rebuild it. I think Hayabusa shared lately some videos where they fucked up their exits and they just rebuild it. So also brief all the different scenarios. If you, like an FS teacher, you could say to your students, we're gonna do a four-way, we're gonna do linked, give it a try. But the moment we go out and somebody gets on the back, somebody gets unstable, we let go. It's a good practice as well, because then the person can get quicker stable than linked. Alright, I have another video to watch. It's a camera guy. Thanks for sharing, Mitch. I'll quickly restart. To go a bit quicker, I said 1 hour. Well, we started late. Okay. Does not only happen with camera guy, it does happen a lot in big way as well, when the upper jumper, or when an upper jumper goes above a lower jumper, or the other way around. That's why stadiums in belly big way are important. So the risk of this jump the person could hit some or more people. The persons he hit could get unconscious, or again parachutes open, or GoPros, or I think it happened something similar with just 2 skydivers in America, that a person had a broken back. Of course, if you're unconscious, the person can get an AED fire. The solution, it's easy said than done, is staying out of the burble, but we all been there. If you can't stay out of the burble, try to adapt quicker when you feel the burble. In this case, maybe, I don't know, I'm not a camera person, I leave it to them. Maybe they can use the wings, or they just slide as back with the knees as fast as you can. That's something for camera persons to consider. Good, bad fitting. We already saw the not tight loop. This person wanted to add me or something on Facebook, I think, or on my group. They always check people who want to join me, because you have a lot of fake people. This picture was his profile picture, and I answered straight away, shouldn't you take that off your Facebook page? I hope you can see this. On the right hand side, it's a few years ago. This person here in blue, it's not an AFF student, he has his own rig, probably 200, 300 jumps, but you're wearing a suit from the club. You have to know, so 18 people in the plane, I was the last, so 16 people got in the plane. 16 people gave a handshake on his hand or a smile to his face. 16 people did not see this, while the person stood there for more than a minute. So I stepped in, I saw it straight away. So check each other at the boarding area. Of course, the risks that comes with a chest strap, I don't need to explain people that. The chest strap can come open. I think what can happen now, maybe you're upside down in your harness. The solution, focus when you gear up. A lot of the times when I walk around at my drop zone or any other drop zones, I see newer people and also experienced people talking to each other. They just chat while they're doing stuff. First they do already the leg strap and they forget the chest strap. Secondly, they just talk without looking if it's properly routed. So that's the main thing. If you see people, if we all help with them, especially with newer people, and we tell them, be focused when you gear up, that will be already a big change. But to be honest, I'll tell you later, the most people I pick out are not students. Another solution is to check each other, just the chest strap at the boarding area. It's maybe an autism of me, I just check everybody briefly, it takes me 10 seconds, and then you could have seen it. Another thing, students need to ask checks, but you could ask checks. I know in some countries you have to, like UK, has to do a buddy check. I don't really, for me personally, I don't really like it because it's not safe anyway, not 100% safe. But you can ask a check. It will make you feel safer, but it's not fully safe, remember this. And they need to know what they check as well. So, how many wrongly routed chest straps I found in my 2,600 jumps? Well, I can't ask you the question you can't answer. So I'm gonna tell you.
Well, they can.
Yeah, they can, but I can't read it. So
I can read it.
yeah, it's 30 seconds delay.
That's also true.
So I found 12, and I probably only started counting, I don't know, maybe after 5 years in the sport or so, I started counting. So 12 wrong routed chest strap, and there was 2 Corona years. And that's only, I'm a weekend jumper. I do 200 jumps a year and still found 12 wrong chest straps. Just so you wouldn't say, oh, there will be AFF students. No, not at all. I didn't count AFF students. So there were 12 that I found at or near the boarding area. Otherwise, if they ask a check, it's wrong. I don't count them. but at the boarding area, ready to jump. All the skydivers had more than 50 jumps. 6 of the 12 were after the corona years in 2023 and 2024, so 6, while I'm only doing 200 jumps in a year. 2 of them were AFF and or tandem instructor. So that's why I said it's not the newer people always. It's a lot of people that has jumped a longer time. You know, we get a bit, what's the word? Complacent. And one person was an AFF student that had a check from the instructor. So that's why I'm just putting the bottom one in. What is it?
Yeah, I have some questions. It might be.
Yeah, I'll see questions. So one was checked by an instructor. It's just in there. Doesn't matter if it's an instructor, but it got checked. So that's why I'm saying it's not 100% safe to ask a check, but it makes you feel safe. While this picture is up, I'm just gonna quickly read my WhatsApps. I get a lot of...
Well, I can... Whatever you prefer, but I have them open here if you want to look.
Oh yeah, bring it. Yeah, but not too many questions. So you can look at this, if you're newer people, this is how you check your gear.
Well, some are comments, but this is a question. Like in the UK, why you're not? Why you don't think it's good?
Okay, I got a question from Abigail.
Abby Virgo.
Why am I not? That's my personal opinion. Everything I say here,
The question,
yeah, is personal. What is the question?
I'd be interested to know why you are not pro compulsory buddy checks.
Well, like I just said, with the AFF instructor that checked his student, that's a buddy check. I think that's an answer. Yeah, is that what she means? Why I'm not pro?
Why do you not think it's helpful to check each other at the boarding area?
Oh well, that's what I just said. No, I think that's the answer. For me, personally, that's my answer, and we can talk about it more. It's good if they want to do it in at our drop zone. I will do it. I will check people, but still, I wouldn't feel 100% safe if somebody would check my gear.
It's not fail safe, is I think what you mean.
Hmm?
Not fail safe. It's not perfect.
Okay, so not perfect. So we've seen the checks.
Somebody disagrees with something on the checklist.
What's wrong with the checklist?
I disagree with blue order. Same order as in emergency.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, I don't think the points that I found online, I didn't make this PowerPoint. Yes, I know what you mean, but yeah, you're right. You're right. It should be in the order you're doing it. Sorry, from the picture, I could change it, maybe myself at some point, to make it a routine. Very good idea. But this is, you still do your emergency procedure. This is just a checklist, just checking, feeling if everything's still on the position, Zoni. So, plane and boarding dangerous. Walking to the wrong plane or in the wrong direction of the propeller. Well, I have a picture. I haven't seen it like this plot yet, but I have seen in Klatovy. I'm gonna tell the story. We were 2 plane formation and we were boarding, one at the fuel station, one in the middle of the area. One person was chatting to the group, followed them in one plane. While we board, it was only me and Ralph that needed to board the lead plane in the middle. We saw somebody running out of the trail plane. He walked like half a meter next to the running propeller. I can't remember, many of people who following now, I don't think they shut off the planes. We still went off, but we had a big talk from the Klatovy DZ. So make sure if you are in the wrong plane, there's 2 options. Option 1, you stay in the plane, you go up with that plane, and you go to your slot and free fall, yeah, sort it out yourself. There's option 2, you could tell the people in the plane you're wrong, and maybe one buddy could help you going outside of the plane, because you are in a stress factor now. You don't think, you just want to go as quickly to the other plane A buddy should help you walk a bit around the propeller. Once you away from the propeller, you're clear to go. We were very lucky. It wasn't a fatality with this thing, because I would have seen it live, and I don't want to see this live. Okay, good. Another pro tip, whenever there's a plane parked, get yourself used even not to walk any close to the propeller. If it's fueling, yeah, of course the fueler have to, but if you don't a fueler, stay away always from a propeller. Always get it in the muscle memory with walking around very far away from it. This way we can jump longer. Just gonna read, I get messages. I got also another text on the fitting, leg strap being super loose, getting on the plane. Yeah, that's true, we see that a lot. Make sure everything is correctly fitted. What are we on timing? Good. Weather dangers. It's from Dave Clark. It's in Klatovy. It was blue sky. You can see it at the background. Here was blue sky when we go up. Just keep in mind now, the last people, nothing unsafe here. This is how we briefed it. They arrive late, they make it, and it's time. So why do I share this video? Well, there was nothing dangerous. Well, there was not normal, but nothing dangerous to see. The risks of jumping in bad weather or big clouds, there are a lot of risks. The solution? Well, one is not to jump. But like I said in Klatovy, 20 minutes before we were up there, we had blue holes. Suddenly came in quick. We knew in the distance there were clouds. So what did I do then? I make sure we have a plan. Okay, but everybody who has jumped with me, I always explain it even before there's clouds. Everybody should know the rule. If we go in clouds, you stop diving. Because if you do not stop diving, you can hit people. If everybody that dives stops, you wait until the clouds, you're out of the clouds, and then go again, everybody should be safe. So that's a very important rule to remember. Stop diving straight away, wait until you get out of the clouds. Of course, I know somebody gonna ask, what if the clouds are 3,000 or 4,000 feet? I would not have gone up, okay? So it means the cloud level is high. I have another one, sorry Dave, you are in the picture. Also Klatovy. There was blue sky on the right. One hole. So here Dave is losing probably visual. Fully now. We were built anyway, so he goes backwards. Goes a bit below the formation. Let's watch now the person in blue. Straight in front of him. Whew. I love this one. Oh, I'll do it again. Good track. Oh, what happened now? So same again. It doesn't have to be a big weight jumper, it could be a camera guy, it could be anybody. A lot of risks here involved. Somebody could or the person tracking away, hitting the person. The solution with the cloud, of course. First rule, do not jump. I'm not a camera guy. Maybe he could have popped back up with the wings, used everything to get up, but there was probably some fogginess. He couldn't see maybe through his goggles. Alright, the next point, I'll go a bit quicker now. Dropping off the plane early is also a big risk we need to consider. Does it happen a lot? No, but you have to think about it. I'm not gonna spend now 30 minutes or more about this specific point because there's so many different scenarios. You just have to think about it. I'm just gonna say the key points what you need to remember. We go, yeah, like I said, this is my slide. I will talk about this on big wave cams. Now here I can't give an answer because there's just so many. Where is the plane? Which plane did drop first off? Was it a single plane? Was it different groups in it? But keep in mind, if you do a jump at your home drop zone and there's multiple groups in there and you jump early of a plane, keep in mind where jump run is, because you can never track on jump run. That's a very important one in single plane, multiple group. If you have one plane with one group, it doesn't really a big deal, but just make sure for newer people, never jump or track on jump run. Jump run is where the plane flies. Incidents in the door and hitting the door on exit. A lot can happen with this. We all had it. Let's watch a few videos without talking. Who has experienced this? I think everybody. Maybe in the poll, tell me who did not hit the door. I want to know. This is an incident in the door. Somebody who asked this in the poll. Well, let's play. I'll have a look. Thanks for these videos again. Good. So what happened? The person, it's difficult to see from here, but somebody has the handle of the person exiting. They will show it in a second, but it's hard to see. And he had the pilot chute. It was not that long, this video. Shark boogie. Oh. It's funny he let go, eh? He must have known, eh? Ugh. Okay, we're gonna go forward. This is an old picture from Maverick. Everybody knows Maverick. I don't know how I found it, but I will have to look for it. So here you see the person in white. He has the cutaway handle from Maverick. I don't think Maverick was aware of this. So Maverick, I figured out when he opened it. He can tell you the story at some DZ. So it can happen. Another funny one. Look at the blue guy. I'll show it quickly because it's so funny. Another one. This is gonna be painful. Oh! You want to see that again, I'm sure. I'm 100% sure. Oh. Of course, you see again, it could be dislocated shoulder. It could take one of the handles off. So be aware where you put your feet. Of course, we're always in a rush to dive. So that's a risk, especially because you can get hurt. Another one, this is a funny one. We're looking at the camera guy who sits here. Probably has happened to a lot of us. There are not a lot of risks involved in this. The only risk is that he has to pay beer for everybody at the bar. I would say always double check as well before exit if everything is good. Another one. I think it's The GoPro got stuck. Oh, that's the rig got stuck, and his legs got splitted. Alright, next. Richard Owen, thanks for these videos. Oh, I'm sure you're none enough them. It's good you film, eh? There's a timing, yeah. Let me go a bit faster. Good. So exit and the door. Now this time it's not the person that exits. Let's have a look. I'm sure plenty of people did never jump a skyvan, but if you jump a skyvan, this is not the way to open it. Have a look what's gonna happen. And the door will open, but now they just forgot that you have to pull up the door. So there the door goes. It's funny that many people film this because I should have said no, it's not that way. So what do you need to remember of this? In any plane you need to ask how the red light, the green light, the yellow light works, 2 minutes, and how a door goes open or closed. So keep that in mind. Other risks are too fast diving and not be able to stop. These are old videos. I didn't have any newer videos. If people have newer ones, please share them. Maybe now you want to share. Oh, this is a good one. It's myself and somebody else who had in the plane a competition. So it's never good to have competition. Do never do competitions on my big webcams.
Me and you did this once.
Yeah.
On an event then. Many years ago.
This was in Ukraine still. So it was a fun jump for this guy. He didn't know we're gonna jump with him. It was only a 3-way. I did one eventually. I overtook, but the person did not like me overtaking him. And the others probably either. Well, we managed to come back up. So stopping is as important or more important than the diving. Another one is gonna come from the left, almost hitting the base. This could be a lot of people hurting. We see it here on the right, one more time. On the left, sorry. Lucky he avoided, went below the formation, otherwise I'm glad I was filming this. Another one, have a good look. It comes from this corner, and I don't know how it's possible, but the person somewhere here will fully overshoot. Look at the speed. Even in even if you have to do 180, it says a lot of speed. It's also I filmed at some point. Oh, good. Just have a look. How many people are watching? 100 plus now?
There's a question, but I'm not.
What's the question?
Sure. How did it happen that a big wave exited after a 3-way?
Oh, the question, how did it happen that a big wave happened after a 3-way? Because it was a surprise. So the guy was doing a 3-way, we know him, and we all exited exactly after him. So it was actually, I don't know how many jumps he had. He was new in the sport, and we just, it was planned.
A surprise big wave.
A surprise big wave.
For him.
He was probably not aware of us, but... So accidents, incidents in free fall. We all seen the picture from Juan. It was cool. He shared this. Just so you know, if people film videos, film tandems, be aware where the drog's gonna be. Speak with the person that you jump with. So now he's in the line of fire actually, and he made a nice post about it. Very experienced skydiver. Thanks for sharing this picture as well, Juan. This one, yeah, was in Klatovy. It was after the pubs. In the pubs event. In free fall, what's gonna happen? We're gonna look here at the lower corner. You're gonna rewatch it. We look here at the right lower corner. You see, it doesn't look hard, but the person has been a bit unconscious. There was something else happening. He had an AAD fire. He landed off the drop zone and he's still recovering because of this. Not gonna talk about how or who's wrong or who's mistaken. Just be aware, if we talk about in big wake camps about the nice approach, the good angle, that you do this. Too high and too low, both together, are not good. Because then you end up in the burble. These days you can go to the tunnel and fly a lot of burbles in the tunnel, because if you feel a burble, you should adapt. Or you make yourself big and you do 50-50. You go to the right, to the left, forward or backward. You just have to make a quick decision that could help you. First of all, make you big. That's the first step. And then make a decision. Do not look first where it comes from. You have to make a decision very quickly. Accidents, incident in free fall. The purse, that's me on the canopy. It was at the boogie. I don't know where the boogie was. Maybe it was Factor Festival. The picture only came out after the jump. Although it has been fully briefed that the height I pulled, the height where the camera would be, the person near us had to go away 2,000-3,000 feet earlier, but still it happened. So I went to the person, I talked to the person. The answer was, I never seen somebody pulling with a hula hoop. So I said, what? Oh yeah, I stopped tracking, I looked at you and then this happened. I said, okay, so why was the briefing then? So luckily, it was still far, a couple meters. You was with it in that jump, didn't you? No, I didn't think so.
On the hula hoop jump, yeah, I was there.
I just tried to think, this picture, I couldn't find it. I don't find the video anymore, but I think it was Gustavo Gabbana who was there filming. Gustavo.
Yeah, I think so.
So, this video was on the islands. Have a look. That was quite shocking for me to see. I was not expecting that. I was joining somebody's jump at the end of the day, I think. And then suddenly I saw it, I said, what the fuck is this? And then I stopped. And if you look, I can't see my mouse, here, this guy has still cameras in the hand. So he was taking pictures with the stills camera, and then on break of altitude he just decides always to go on the back, click it to his harness and later pull. So try to not do that anymore, get new gear. We have better gear now anyway. I did not know that this person at that point then was gonna jump with us. Another incident in free fall, 1 hour. This is now a wingsuit person going on the back. Barrel starts to spin. Can't control now the spin. A lot of tension on it. We know what's gonna happen now. We're gonna only show it once because I said 1 hour, but with a delay. And AAD fire. Thanks for sharing this, Nikki, as well. So, what went off? She was unstable. Well, not unstable, she was back flying. The jitters went off. She kept rotating. While this is happening, you know, on a wingsuit there's a lot of force. It's difficult to do maneuvers. There's certain things you could do, but of course, what happens when something goes wrong? Panic mode is on. It's normal. We all have dealt with this kind of situations that suddenly you think you can handle it, but when it's really happening, yeah, you have to see if you never had a panic mode, then yeah, you will see how it will go. So it's very understandable that she's trying to get everything solved, but of course the time goes quicker, the height awareness is gone, and then suddenly it's luckily we have good vigils and AEDs around to help us survive. Dislocated shoulder, we talked about this, very important one. It's some that is forgetting, write this down if you're a newer jumper. I was not aware. Look at the right hand side of me, the person in red. I was so focused on the other side that I did not know what happened behind me. And since then, it's only since then that I've been thinking a lot about this, because nobody ever talks about it. Many of you might never heard of this situation. But the risks of this kind of stuff can be hard, because how will the person react? Lucky this guy was very mental aware of it. We talked about it a lot, because what if it would have happened with me or somebody else, and you are panic mode and stress and you didn't know what happened, like you have pain. Imagine if the person at this point go for, depends on what shoulder, he pulls the pilot chute or he goes straight on the reserve. You see how many people are in the line of fire. So that's why it's an important one to consider. It's important to think about it thorough, because you want to save your life, that's our human thing. But while you save your life, you could kill many others. So think about different scenarios, like the guy, he waited until it was 3,000 feet.
There is a question, what happened to that guy in red, which I think is the guy with the dislocated
Yeah,
shoulder.
good question. Maybe he had already a patch. There's maybe a bit of tension now. But I think he had maybe pain in the shoulder at the moment, and yeah, it goes quick, I guess. It dislocates the shoulder. I had once, a long time, very long time, very quickly. Yeah, was it maybe because of some force we can't see on the video? You can see there's a little bit of pulling here, so it's gonna be a bit of a mix of everything all together. But thankfully, the guy was waiting for pulling until we broke off. So thank you so much for this. Keep in mind, dislocated shoulder. So the question is, have you ever thought about it? Probably not. So think about it now, especially if you do big waves, for saving others, but also for yourself. Because what you're gonna do now depends on what shoulder. You're gonna pull your main, you're gonna pull reserve. Abigail asked, can you flare with one arm? I'm coming to that. So, dislocated shoulder, what now? Once it happened, first save yourself, save others, save yourself, you know, make sure, depends the situation. Think about which arm, what you're gonna pull. And then another one, the emergency drills are very important. And then flying and landing, I just got the question. Flying and landing, this is something everybody out of AFF and with maybe an instructor with him that explains it, should give it a go with a hop and pop where you're alone in the sky. First thing to say, I've talked a few times to Stefan Tripke. He's a German guy. He could not join the seminar. He has two hands. That's maybe wrongly said, but he can only do most stuff with one hand. So he has a good article online. If we ever do a safety day again, maybe VVP, who is helping here as well, should get Stefan Tripke over to give a seminar, because there's lots of important things to say. So first of all, when it happens, it's like yoga, always breathe, stay calm. It's hard, but breathe. So what he explained, I'm gonna explain it as good as I can. Always the good hand, right or left. One hand, when you go for the toggles, you always want to reach inside, inside. Okay? So inside, inside. Remember that. Do not do outside, outside. Inside, inside. He said as well, always grab the toggle of your good side. So first, if it's right, the right, and then the left. Thumb then. Okay, so what now? What gonna your canopy do if you pull one riser, one steering line loose? You know, canopies is a half brake. You take one, it's gonna start spinning depending the canopy. If you have a bigger canopy, you can get away with leaning in the harness. If you have smaller canopy, you will have to take the toggle, put it in your mouth until it's stable, grab the other one, and then you retake them. That's the only thing with smaller canopies. Bigger canopies, you probably be quick enough, because if you take one and you go to the other one, the length of it will be still kind of in a brake. Not fully, because I've tried it, but you still have to weight shift, grab the other one, and then you hold them in front of you. Oh yeah, he said that here as well, because I've studied that a bit before, not already a long time before. And then of course with the two hands you can just turn left, turn right and flare. Try to do as less turns as possible, of course, especially if you're not used to it. Use also your body to steer, harness inputs. If you haven't done a Flight 1 course yet or any other canopy coach, what are we? 1 hour exactly busy now. Use your body to steer. So yeah, use this already, but talk if you, like I said, if you're in the AFF and stuff, don't try this. You need a bit more experience. But then talk to maybe a canopy coach, or talk to Stefan Tripke himself. I think he's gonna release at some time some videos. I've been asking about it, or pushed him a bit to get some stuff as well. So it will come. So try it. Do a hop and pop if you don't know what to do. Hop and pop. A question?
Just before you move on to the next slide, Tom said, would it be worth landing with brakes stowed if you only have one arm?
Ooh, I can't answer. Yeah, of course, because your canopy is half a brake, especially in big way. Most people have bigger canopies. If that's the option, that's the option, but I haven't tried it. I don't want to try it with my canopy. Maybe with my Sabre 3 120 I could give it a try, Tom. I wouldn't mind. I tried all the rest, but that I'm gonna ask Stefan that. I'll try to remember that question.
And there's another comment, most people have a full face helmet, taking the toggle into your mouth, ... I guess would be difficult, but I for one always open my visor under canopy.
Yeah.
I thought most people did.
Yeah, but you can't open your helmet with one.
I see. Yeah, good point.
Yeah, you should get a tonfly then. It's only with one click open. The tonfly is good for that.
That's a good point.
But I think I should try with your helmet. You can grab it and put it under your helmet. You can still put your fingers in your mouth of your helmet. I don't know. Good point as well.
Yeah, I don't know.
But like I said, I think most people who following, they have bigger canopies. If you need to put it in your mouth, I've tried already, you know. You can just do like this. If you're quick enough, it's fine. But if you on a Valkyrie, that's gonna be a bit trickier. Maybe I'll leave them stowed in it. So good point. Those 2 points is good to ask. Like I said, I wanted if it would have been teams or so, Stefan Tripke could have been joining. I would have been the perfect person to. From who? Patrick Paz? No.
David Senna. Oh, is that David?
No, that's the Spanish. David.
Yeah,
Paella. Next month, Paella. Okay, so emergency drills with one hand, that's another one. Who has tried this? If somebody has tried this, say in the comment, yes, I'll buy you a beer if it's true. I'll buy you a beer. I've done it even this winter, even with my new harness. So if people ask, why does it look different? It's just the mutant from UPT. Have a look. It's not as easy as you think. I do a lot of emergency drills actually. I have once built a whole system here at home to try different stuff.
Oh, I should have put that video on in the garden.
Oh yeah. Like if in the winter time, just go and practice. You see, actually that's a good point while I'm now. This is my own rig. So it's connected just with risers. They can make there's always somebody always has spare risers. You can hang your own rig somewhere and put cushions, otherwise your ass gonna get hurt. So just try different things with your own gear, because the stuff that hangs in schools, it's not the same. It's a good mental, no, not mental thing. It's good for the preparation, but it's still not a real deal. Even this is not a real deal. I hang still. There's no spinning involved, and I found it already tricky. I hope you do this. I made a homework as well. So homework, deepen yourself in the emergency procedures with the dislocated shoulder situation. Ask help from an experienced person. I'm gonna talk to Stefan. I'll try to remember those 2 questions, otherwise send them private to me. I'll make sure to get an answer. Another homework, do hop and pops and try this stuff out after you briefed yourself fully and you have the different plans in your head, because it could go wrong. It could start spinning your canopy, so make sure then you are bored, take the 2 toggles or go to an emergency procedure. Only do this after talking with somebody first. I have to be careful of this. Americans listen, or English, they could sue me if I say something wrong.
Not English, but American.
Going low. What are the dangers? I asked the other day on Facebook how many people. You see, a lot of people have gone low a lot of time. It has 90 votes.
I won't sue, says Casey.
Of course, people are gonna say this was not going low, but now many people are low. It was just at break of time. Now you're gonna see a person tracking straight below me, coming from a whole different area where it shouldn't be going that way. But it's good to see this video. Of course, people gonna say now you're pulling low. Yes, that's true. But look, I'm checking my ulti, I check everything around, so that was a funnel, and people below on break off, they start breaking off, and some persons go below me as well. So what do you want to know? Even if you have your tracking buddies like planned, it could change. The moment something happens in a skydive, everything can change. So always keep your eyes open on break off. If I would not have seen the person, and the person would have corrected the angle and stayed in front of me, this could have become a danger. So keep your eyes always open. Do not always look at only one person. Once you track away, you want to have as much as input as you can. Sometimes I see people doing a barrel roll. I don't know why, because in the time you barrel roll, you can't see anything. You lose altitude, so and we wave off. So I think it's, I don't know. I'm not gonna answer on here. Another video just to show you in the tunnel what the risks are of somebody going under formation. Whew. Nick is holding strong there. He's like, I'm a winner. I love this. Thanks, Nick. Let's watch again. Must be pretty painful. So basically what I want to say, don't go low under the formation. If you go low, go next to the formation. Stop higher, of course, but don't be under the formation. Looking at the time.
If people have to go, they have to go.
No,
if they
yeah.
want to stay, they'll stay.
It's not that long anymore, I think. Could go quicker through the videos. So also look, the flap goes open of the main, people stopping low, people are low. Person is doing a great job, really great job here on the left. It's a very good example of coming up in the meantime. But now, see the person going straight under, and it happened, burbles again and break off. So stay away from under the formation. Come up like the person in blue did a great job, sideways, making big on thing, and come back to the formation. This is, I'm not gonna go deep on this. This is going on big wake camp. Just basically say, if you close with the formation, you stay with the formation. Then once the first group tracks away, you track away with them, and you do not pull a pilot chute above 3,000 feet. If you close with the formation, if you can stay close. I go deeper that on big wake camps. So if you're deep below the formation and you can't see the formation above, you still try of separation. Canopies are open, always brilliant on big wave. So 3,000 was before the altitude we pull anyway. Now we go slightly higher, so it gives you a bit more range. Tracking direction and pull altitude. Very, very cool video. I wasn't not allowed to share the credits, but the video was allowed. We look here straight in front. I'm sure people want to rewatch this 3 times. We love this shit. Just to learn from, of course. Again, so it comes from in the middle of the canopy. Not so funny if that's either one of you. What did happen? I know the story, but I'm not gonna say it. It was something with different groups and tracking and AFF. So somebody fucked up with the direction of group going. This is another one, Dave Clark again. Look to the right. A close call, somebody pulled next to him. Here's the video, so the guy should not have been there in the first place. Gonna look again. So be aware of your surroundings, know where you need to be. Okay, what are your first steps after you pull? That's a very important one. Of course, we're gonna talk about a good opening, otherwise you're busy with your emergency procedures of solving it. If you have a good opening, first of all, usually, if all goes good, you should know who's around you and who's close to you. But always expect the unexpected, same as in the big way that somebody was below me on tracking. Once the parachute goes open, while it's still inflates, have the hands on the rear risers. Do not give too much input yet, because it could change direction. Just have the hands ready. Look around while it's the dog. Look around. Once it's open, or if you see somebody coming, you can give some input on your rear risers. Once parachute goes open, you have an off heading with the rear risers. You go away in the same direction you tracked, so you give more horizontal separation from people. You also turn away from people, like using the risers or harness input. Steer away always from people with line twists or other problem. Never watch at them how they're gonna do reserve, because they could start spinning your direction because you wanted to film their reserve. No, steer away of those persons so they have all the clear space they can have. You don't want to create a bigger issue. After you steered away, you looked around, do your slider, then the toggles, and leave your booties on. I haven't seen it anymore that people taking their booties off, but leave them on. Yeah, you still see it? Yeah.
Well, yeah. In a certain group with
they shouldn't. Leave
older.
Older. Oh, lucky we have all younger people watching. So leave your booties on, they're cheap to repair. if you see, I think the person here, of course, there's a lot of reasons why this is happening. The person there have the risers, I think. Yeah, he's going straight for the risers already. Input. Oh, it was the front. I think he has the front. Okay, yeah. Oh no, it's the rears. Good. So he gave input to avoid a collision. Of course, there was still some damage. Okay, people gonna ask what happened. First of all, the camera should have pulled already before. They should have set maybe a bigger altitude to break off. Like if you have newer jumpers here, set a higher altitude so you have a more horizontal separation. So these are things to improve. Higher altitude to break off. Cameraman pulls straight away, and the people need to track further away. Separation. Then we don't have this stuff. It could have ended body to body. I don't need to explain what would be happening with body to body. Emergency procedure. So I asked the same question again. Who's done it every year? There's not many people that do the emergency procedure in the safety harness every year. Mostly said it's been a couple of years since I've done it, and there's still a percentage that said I've only done it in my AFF ground school. Of course I got questions, yeah, but I do it at the repack. Yeah, that's true, but just be aware it's good because you feel your rig, you feel your power. The only thing you do not aware of is that it could be slightly different, okay? And then of course, unusual situations, emergency procedures, we talked about it with one hand, what kind of scenarios, go through them, make sure you refresh them before the start of the season. What happens when you spin around? Ask somebody to spin you around once in your own harness under the rig. It's gonna be more tricky to find, especially it creates G-forces. So act quick, I would say. Don't wait, don't fight it. You have good riggers, good repack. It's their salary as well to earn something, so just chop it straight away. If it's not good, get rid of it. Too many stories that people say, oh, I waited and tried, and then they start to get a little bit dizzy and could all end up. Don't wait, just chop. I've added this slide very recently, today actually. I was still busy on my PowerPoint for the internet version. The one hand or two hand, what do I mean with one hand? One hand is the one hand on one handle, the other hand on the other handle. The other method is the two hands on one handle and then the other one. It's a good discussion to have. It could be funny, it could be especially louder at some people. They don't like to talk about this, but it's something that should be opened more, because yeah, there are more advantages is good, advantages with the two hands on one hand method these days, especially with all our equipment. We have the RSL, we have the Skyhook and whatsoever. Of course we never rely on it, but the two hand method could take some negative things away from the one hand method. My opinion, that's my opinion. But I'm gonna say, because, how do I say it? My opinion is, if I would have been a newer skydiver, a newer skydiver, I would wanted to learn the two hand on one method now. But think about it.
A couple of comments. Is a harness test yearly a good idea, like in the Netherlands, I believe, from Yuri? And then
A good idea.
Gabor Kiss said in Hungary it's also mandatory to do it at the start of the season.
Yes, it's good to, you can have people that go, it's about the harness question. Somebody asked about, would it be a good idea to have the yearly harness test? And then, yes and no. Because if you make it obligatory, people will do it, but without giving any attention to it. That's how we are. They just go in, done, over. So yes, it would be very good if people would have more knowledge and more practice in it. Absolutely, fully agree. But if they don't want to indulge in it themselves, then what would that one harness test make the difference? But I give that to the DZOs to decide to make it obligatory or not. I think stuff like this will create it more thing happen. Okay, just to carry on the 1 or 2 hand method, start the discussion. So that's my personal thing. At the moment, like I said, I stick now with the 1 hand method because I've had muscle memory for a long time. It would be not so good for me now to change it. Although I'm trying, but that's dangerous to do it. Okay, a good thing. Let's go something longer. I don't have that much slides anymore. Why am I? Somebody asked as well. Why am I against the 1 hand? First of all, the 1 hand. If you would do the sequence too quick, then you could have a big problem. I have seen people with the one hand method so quick that they put first the reserve. So that's already 2 bad scenarios. While you do it with the 2 hand method, you cannot have it. Another thing, I can't really say it, but that's my thing. I have skyhook or RSL. Once you have the 2 hand on one, you cut away. There is a chance that your canopy goes open anyway, but you still do a full sequence to go for your reserve. But that's my personal opinion. Everybody makes your own decision. It's skydive, but think about it. Of course, make sure if you change that you rechange your muscle memory, because it's if you do it so long, you don't want to change too much, of course, but think about it. So homework, like I said it all. Get in the hanging a harness, make you spin around, try the different scenarios. In free fall, if you ever do a solo free fall, do your emergency procedure. Try to find your handles, of course, without pulling. And the canopy, do an emergency procedure simulation, and of course without pulling them. But it's gonna be interesting. Try to find them, once with your eyes closed, eyes open, because you never know in what situation you are. Here I just say the same, the unusual things. Canopy, just videos, I'm not gonna talk about it. Just a video guy filming. It's me and the canopy. Maddie on top, Tom at the bottom. This is another one. Here we decided to too low and then shit happens. So this is me. I shouldn't have docked anymore that low. Nice to see the picture of the feet. Somebody asked how many emergency have I done? 5. 5 emergency procedures. Fully zoning. Landing pattern. I think the last. So I'm almost ready. Just the last videos, we're going to the landing. So look at the person here. We noticed the student. We are in fault if something would happen, but we've seen the person there. It's a good one. We learned from the person. We had a chat with the student. They said she didn't saw us. So just to say, if you say we would make a mistake. But here you see the blue canopy facing away from us. So we're going now to the drop zone. But then the student decided to turn. The leader saw it, I saw it, so it's only the one that followed us was looking at the leader. Should I change now? This is another angle. Okay, this is a very important one. So this could have ended more badly. The person could have stirred away already and go door in final, but they want to land as close as possible. Same landing, try to land straight. The person in yellow is not straight at all. The last bit, turning away to the right. Lucky, in a way, it was low to the ground. Lucky. So if there's an arrow, make it nice, parallel with the arrow. In the landing area, where do the accidents happen? Always close to the tents, to the hangar. You see all these people to the left, they're pretty safe-ish. Try to stay away of as many people you can. Maybe you could be good, you could land good, but what if the person behind you would be a bit more risk? Think about that. Line burns, I see not that many people when they land turning and watch the canopies coming in. That's the first thing you should do. Feet on the ground, 180, look up. This is Jim Bradwell. He had some line burns from a canopy hitting him, so it went through the jumpsuit and everything. It's not from a tiger, or he does those exotic boogies, but it's not from a tiger or a lion. It's from a canopy, just some lines. It's just the last ones. Landing funny, Maverick, who had a bad landing in Italy, I think it was. We end up in hospital then. Gloves, do you wear gloves or not? I had them, I never wear them. I wanted to save my rig on the runway. It was a runway I was sliding. The wind has changed 180 degrees. So I was sliding, wanted to save my brand new rig, and then, yeah, I was fucked for a couple of days with my hands. Still jumped, but sometimes I need to think to wear gloves. I just don't like them for some emergency stuff. That's just me.
But you can always remove your gloves in an emergency. Just take them off and throw them.
This is just an example for the newer people, because we never talk about it. This is me who did something stupid. I was young, 2012, 1 year of skydiving. I see all those cool kids doing fast landings. I just looked at them, I said, I can do that. No, I can't. So this was my first crash. Show it again. So always ask an experienced people to teach you, and don't experiment yourself. This is what I've learned, so I'm always had good coaching now, or ask around. I don't practice stuff this anymore. Good, I think that's it. 1 hour and 20 minutes, not bad. A bit overtime. So it was a lot, I know. It's different than most seminars. Mostly we tell you what not to do and this and that. So now you had some videos. Now you can put a picture on it, especially if you knew people, if you never heard about it.